So nowadays, anything from a pit bull to a python can be an emotional support animal, which is fine until its owner needs support. Somewhere animals aren't usually welcome. And then things can get awkward, but service animals are different. For one thing, under the Americans with Disabilities Act, a service animal is a dog or a miniature horse, period. No ferrets. For another, they provide service. We've all seen guide dogs for the blind, but there are hearing dogs, mobility assistance dogs, autism service dogs, allergy detection dogs, and even diabetic and seizure alert dogs, and each can cost as much as a new car. It takes at least a year and a half to train a service dog, and more than that, half actually flunk out. Those that don't, they can fetch anywhere from $15,000 to $40,000, none of which is covered by insurance. The few nonprofit groups that train and donate dogs can't come close to meeting demand, so for-profit trainers will fill the void. No training required for them, no regulation, no certification for the supposedly trained dogs, and of course, no guarantees. And if you think that's a bad system, my next guests definitely agree. David Favre is a law professor at Michigan State University specializing in animal law, and Jennifer Kate is executive director of Medical Mutt Service Dogs in Indianapolis and author of Selecting and Training Your Own Service Dog. Jennifer, I want to start with you. I see you've got your dog with you there. So cute. Tell me about this dog.
This is Oscar, and Oscar comes from a shelter nearby, and he's currently in training. So he's a beginner right now. He's only had about 2 months of training.
So what will Oscar be trained to do? And at the end of it all, what would a dog like Oscar cost?
Well, we don't know yet what he's going to become. All our dogs go through a lot of months of training, and we select the few that actually make the cut, that have the qualities that we're looking for really at the very end of their training. So he might be either a diabetic alert dog or a seizure alert dog or a psychiatric service dog, which are the dogs that we specialize in.
And what about the cost? Oh gosh, he's so cute. He's almost like a little Benji. What would a dog like him cost at the end of all the training?
So what they cost us is around $25,000. And
wow.
We look for sources, for grants and donations to fund these dogs, but we just don't have enough to come close to making these dogs more affordable. So we ask $15,000 for a diabetic alert dog and $17,000 for a psychiatric service dog. So the more donations come in, of course, the more we would be able to lower those costs.
And Jennifer, you obviously run an upstanding business and do the right thing with training these dogs, but I want to bring you in, David, because there are a lot of companies out there doing the wrong thing, ripping people off, and with the demand as high as it is, it seems like a lot could go wrong here, David.
Oh, yes, very much so. I'm afraid the demand side of things combined with the internet as a source of information is really a disaster for a lot of people who aren't very careful with what they're doing.
And no regulation, David. I mean, it doesn't seem like the government is staying on top of this. Does that surprise you?
Well, one would hope for some control here, but no, there's nobody has stepped forward and figured out how to do this. It would be a rather extensive enterprise to have to set up an agency where there is no agency right now that could determine who is a good provider of service dogs. That actually is not a very easy thing to figure out.
Yeah, it's tricky. Jennifer, it's got to be difficult when you meet these families, and I'm sure you talk to so many on the phone, and they need the dog so badly. But people don't have that kind of money. What do you do in a situation like that?
Oh, you're absolutely right. And we would love to be able to provide these dogs for free, but we just can't. If we lower the price, we would have to cut corners, and that's not what we want to do, because cutting corners would be providing a product that's not, and I'm sorry to talk to you about a product, Betty, but would be, providing dogs that are not fully trained or not providing the support that the people need. So unfortunately, we don't really have a choice but charging what we charge right at this moment. But I want to come back.
So what do families do? I mean, do they get a loan? Do they get a loan, Jennifer? Or, I mean, do they sell a car? I mean, what do you do if you just don't have the money and your kid desperately needs it?
Well, we discourage people from getting into debt for a service dog. Really, what is the best way to do is the best thing to do is to go out and fundraise and look for ways to grow your maybe take a year or two to get the funds that you need through your own networking, through your church or your friends, your family, and that's how most people will afford these dogs.
Makes sense. Thank you so much, David and Jennifer, and your cute pup there. Good advice, and hopefully people will be careful. We know how important these dogs are, so thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.